Welcome back to the Goodol'boys channel. This is going to be part 2 of installing eBay headers on this 2015 Chevy Silverado. There's some pretty good details throughout this video, and also there's going to be a really good sound clip for you guys towards the end of the video, so stay tuned. Also, if you guys are looking for other parts of the build videos, part 1, part 2, part 3, whatever you're looking for, they're all going to be linked in the description box below, so don't forget to go check them out. Alrighty guys, so we've gotten the manifolds off here. The Y pipe is all the way taken off. We just have to remove this cross member here in order to get the Y pipe the rest of the way off. Alright, so the Y pipe is completely removed. This cross member just drops straight down. Make sure you put it back in the same way it came out, because the orientation does matter. As you can see, it says front with an arrow that way. Also, there's this little tube that goes back in this thing here, which I'll put that back on off camera, but you can see how much space we have in here up to the heads there. So next thing we need to do is put the headers on. Same as always, we need to lay everything out. I've got the header and the gasket laid out, and you need to make sure you have 5 manifold bolts for each side. And also I've got some anti-seize here. It's basically high temp, well, it's anti-seize, there's no other way to put it, but it's high temp lubricant, I guess. And what we're gonna do here is take each bolt and soak it with anti-seize. Alrighty guys, so it's finally time to bolt the headers on. So here we go, doing the passenger side. Can it go forward more? There we go. Alright, sweet. What you can do, if you can, is take and put your bolt in the manifold and hang your gasket on it. Yeah, this side's gonna be fun. Turn the camera, maybe you guys can see, maybe not.
Whoa, man, you're gonna blow a spark plug.
Yeah, that's
alright. Keep going.
I'm trying to. I'm stuck on something and something else. Why will it not slide up at this point? What else is holding it up?
You're right on the spark plug is why.
Alright, well, let me see if I can get it past there.
There you go.
Gosh. Hopefully we didn't cob the spark plug out.
God damn it, I'm gonna shave my head fucking bald.
Well, the headers are in. I don't know how much of the install you guys can see, but you can see we got bolts in. Now the driver's side header is a little bit tight. It's rubbing on this steering shaft here. And then we also are right up against the frame with that one header pipe there. But hopefully it'll just wear in or wear out or something. We'll see. Could probably put a dent in the side of that header pipe before you put it in there and it'd be fine. So I've got anti-seize on the O2 sensors. These are the front O2 sensors that we're going to be using. They are before the cat on the Y pipe. As far as the oxygen sensors, you're using the front 2 oxygen sensors that are in front of the cat. With long tube headers, you are not going to have a spot for the back 2 oxygen sensors. You just leave those off. I did want to show you guys a few things that I tidied up under here. So one of the things is, since you don't have your back 2 oxygen sensors plugged in, you need to find some kind of tape or something to tape over the connectors here, as you can see. Also, the fuel lines right here, I went ahead and bent this bracket up and bent the fuel lines up away from the Y pipe here, because it will get hot and probably will cause problems that you don't want. As far as the oxygen sensors, the driver's side hooks up real nice and easy, no problems. The passenger side, on the other hand, is a bit tighter. You see this a lot on header installation videos on these Chevy Silverados. Really, the correct way to do this is to get a extension for the O2 sensor. I actually did not do that. If you move some harnesses around, a couple of these harnesses, you pull off these little clips and just reroute them, get it so your O2 sensor can plug in. So one other really important thing, if I zoom in here, you guys can see the zip tie on this one stud. If you guys set this up right, you can zip tie the O2 sensor harness right there to that stud, because there's really nothing else to tie it off to. You can make this work with the factory setup, but again, it's still very tight, so I'm gonna go back eventually and put a extension harness on this. But you can see also here I have this wrapped up with fiberglass blanket here, because it's real close to the header, and the connector is actually right inside the fiberglass cloth here. And then there's one more really important thing. I actually had to clamp on some of this fiberglass blanket, is what this is. If you look down in here, you can see how the spark plug boot and wire would be touching the header without this fiberglass blanket here. You want to prevent the spark plug wire and boot from touching the header. This is the only boot that really doesn't need it, front driver's side spark plug boot and wire, but the rest of them all need some kind of fiberglass cover protection or something. And we got the one for the passenger side. And again, this one's got anti-seize on it as well. This is all stuff you want to make sure you have done before you put these in here. All right, guys, so we got a little carried away. We ended up putting the Y pipe in there and connecting the Y pipe to the cat back. All right, so this is going to be the first startup, guys, so here we go. So like I talked about before, the header is unfortunately rubbing on the steering column and on the frame. So the driver's side header here, we are actually gonna have to take back off. Oh guys, so the header is back off of there. So you can see on the header here, right exactly where the steering was rubbing on this. I got a bunch of black paint marker around it, so that's kind of why it looks crappy. Same here, that's black paint marker, but this is where it was rubbing on the frame. So when you guys get your headers, just test fit them, make sure they fit real nice. If they don't, go ahead and make these adjustments before you bolt them in the truck. Although I gotta say, it only took 20 minutes to get this thing back off the truck. So I think that's gotta be some kind of record. But in all reality, it's just super easy to take these headers on and off the truck.
Well, is she gonna be solid?
What? So I think we're mostly finished with the header. We had to do a little more adjusting than I thought we would have had to do. You can kind of see where we've adjusted the header, and there's actually a third spot down here that I wanted to adjust a little bit just in case. So it's all said and done, everything's put back together, no more rubbing on the frame or the steering column. You can see there's a little bit of mud on here, don't mind that. We had a little field party the other night, no big deal. But I didn't talk too much about the cross member or the Y pipe. I did have to take this section of the Y pipe off, which was not a big deal, and I did not have to take the cross member out, which saved a good bit of time, so that was kind of nice. Now it's time to get the sound clips of the stock versus the headers. So real quick, I just wanted to go over what the setup was like for the stock setup or the more stock setup versus the headers setup. This was the stock setup here. So we got the stock manifolds, the stock Y pipe. Now, like I said, I did have a third cat delete. I mentioned this in the first video. If you guys want to see the first video, it'll be in the description box below. With the stock manifolds and the stock Y pipe, I had the stock cat back, but it had a muffler delete, it had the resonator delete, and it also had the valve delete. And it comes back here and dumps out with the just an axle dump here. So that was a stock setup. So with the headers on here, we basically have the headers with the Y pipe, and then that goes to the cat back exhaust, which again, axle dumps, no muffler, no resonator, no valve. Alrighty guys, so that's going to be it for part 2 of the header installation on this 2015 Chevy Silverado. Stick around, we're going to be putting a tuner on this thing very shortly. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. Check out the description box below. All my other Silverado videos are going to be down there, including parts 1, 2, 3, 4, how many parts we have. And you guys can also find the videos under my Silverado playlist on my YouTube channel. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video. Woo!
It's all about humanity.